let's talk about the episode. Let's talk about the episode. So I meant to talk about Ariana last week. Totally forgot about Miss Thing. It makes perfect sense why she didn't want to do her graduation now. She didn't got a little fast. Will and Sonny probably gave her too many rules or restriction, which she don't like and probably don't like. She probably figured that she'll get away with stuff like that with Gabby over here. That's why she went to Gabby and forgot about all her graduation stuff. And it's obvious and clear that an hour in the town, 2 hours, 30 minutes in the town, she wound up in the bar and sleeping with Doug of all people. Now, Ara, we gonna need for you to calm your little butt down. When we first saw you, you was a teenager. Now you 18 around here sleeping with anybody you see. Mm-mm. We can tell Will and Sonny did their job for the most part. Probably, we don't know yet, but yeah, if that's any indication how she was and wherever she was at, yeah, Gabby finna have a hard time for sure, and she ain't gonna be able to watch that little thing. Anybody that sneak out the window to go meet a guy and guy crazy like they say, this not gonna be the first time she do Gabby like this, and I'm not really shocked nor I'm not shocked nor surprised by this anyway, because yeah, that girl had a rough life anyways, and Gabby ain't no role model. Will and Sonny, I give them a pass and say they somewhat of a role model, and I'm hoping and praying that Sonny and Will stopped off with trying to be promiscuous like this. I think they did their job. Not really quite sure yet. But for the most part, you can tell that she had too many restrictions over there with the dads. She wanna come to mom where she can be a little fast and do her little thing, sleeping with anybody she want to, talking about hooking up with Doug again. Of course, Doug down. And how old is Doug? She 18, so how old is Doug? Is he in his 20s or something? He got to be 23, 24, sleeping with a 20. Well, you know what? She grown, so can't really get on him about that. I mean, Gabby gonna have to put the GPS on that behind somewhere, but she can slow her down, because sneaking out, gone for a whole night, Gabby worried sick, got to call JJ to help her, lying to her mama. Yeah, 18 and grown and hot already. You gotta love it, I guess. Gabby, you finna have fun with that. If you don't start putting down your foot down and put some restrictions, you finna have a whole lot of fun with that one. A whole lot of fun. You better hope and pray she know about condoms, cause when them looks of it, I don't think she know about them quite yet. So that means you finna be a grandma at your age, and I see that in age you got your daughter being 18, being grown and fast. So, anywho though, John doing fine, doing well, passing his test with flying colors. He talking here and there to Marlena, Brady, Bell. I think he said something to Will, not really sure. He talking, and with everybody now coming into town, and Will coming talking to Johnny and told him, you my brother, I love you ever since you was born, and don't feel bad about that. And I'm glad somebody can talk to Johnny and make him snap out of it. You was nothing like your daddy, unfortunately. You was nothing like your daddy. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Now, when you start really acting like EJ, then we'll be concerned and worried for you. As of now, you do not have what EJ got, and you the soft side of EJ, even though you're not talking to him. But yeah, you need to calm down and relax. And now with Miss Brady dog, I can't think of her name. She now know that Johnny was there that night holding the gun and pointing it at EJ. She done told Brady, she done told Kristen, and that was so awkward in the hospital with Brady and Kristen and Johnny coming up with them pastries. And I forgot the little girl name, was looking at him like he was about to that look in her eyes she had for Johnny. It was kind of scary, even though she loved Johnny, and that's her uncle, I think it is, or whatever that girl is to Johnny. And for her to be looking at him like he a monster, yeah, Johnny, you done messed up pulling that gun out on EJ like that and got caught by Miss Grony Pants. Brady, of course, want to go to the police, but totally forgot that if they get any more reports from CPS, they gonna end up losing her. So Kristen told him, no, you can't do that, because we'll end up losing her, because CPS already breathing down our necks and wait for our next screw up. So if you actually do that, we actually screw. So now they gotta keep it hush hush and quiet. Kristen made a deal with EJ about if he let her mother go, that she won't come to Salem, she won't talk. Matter of fact, you won't see her at all. He finally agreed to that and to let her, free, I guess, because he agreed and he shook her hand. So, look like Kristen finna get her mama back. But yeah, Kristen can't control that woman. That woman is sought in her old lady ways. That woman is sought and she ain't changing and she ain't shifted. Don't matter how hard Kristen tried. Kristen cannot control that woman. And good luck, EJ. I would have never let her go if I was you. I would have kept her wherever you had at. I would have let her stay there. Because Kristen can't control that woman. And just because she not in Salem don't mean she can't still snitch on you. So, yeah, EJ, you kind of let that went to your head, I'm guessing. It was the battle of the hospital bed and who was going to win. Of course, like Julie said, a rock in a hard place. EJ ended up winning because of Xander beating up Philip, ended up getting arrested in front of everybody in front of the hospital. Even though Brady was the last deciding vote on who won and he was a tiebreaker, which means he voted for EJ and EJ ended up winning. Not surprised or shocked, like I said. Xander always been a hothead and always had a temper. Like I said, I don't feel sorry for Sarah at all when it comes to Xander at all. Having a baby with him, marrying him and all that. You knew exactly what you was getting when you opened that box. You decided to open that box, marry that box, have a baby with that box. Now you have fun and enjoy your present for the rest of your life. You is stuck with Xander for the rest of your life. Don't matter what, and connected with that baby. So why you talking about some he ain't gonna never see the baby again, talking about custody, this, that, and the third? You cannot do that. Not even much Maggie can stop that. Maggie can try to stop her, but Maggie can't stop nothing either. While she telling Xander to stay away from her daughter and her granddaughter. Maggie, sit down somewhere. Your daughter getting everything she deserves. She did the right thing by not telling Xander in his temper, but he found out anyways and beat up Philip trying to, that whole mess right there. Y'all is not gonna stop Xander for seeing his child, don't matter the temper or what. He might have, he might have rights, but these rights might come with a CPS worker right there. When he have custody, they have a CPS worker there with him or whatnot. Y'all not gonna stop Xander for seeing that baby. I'm sorry. Sarah knew fully what she was getting herself into. That's why she didn't trust him enough to tell him that secret about Philip and defrauding him and the Kiriakis family. Sarah knew exactly what she was getting into. I don't feel sorry for her at all. And as of me, in my opinion, she getting what she deserved. Y'all is not gonna stop that man for seeing his daughter. Y'all can try all y'all want to with y'all money, but y'all not gonna stop that. Y'all can't. That's Sarah's fault for having a baby with that clown. That's Sarah's fight for knowing that man had anger issues at the behind and a temper as far as that is all on Sarah. So Sarah gonna have to live with her consequences of having a baby with a hothead. a hot tamale. That's all on her, and she gonna have to deal with that and work that out herself and tell her to have fun with that. Anywho, we get to Sophia, and she hell bent on doing the custody thing with or without her mother. So she go talk to Trash. Trash give her some advice. Trash was getting ready to represent her, but Tate caught them and say, "This who you wanna have our adoption thing with, Trash? Do you realize what she did to my family?" But before he showed up, the mama caught her red-handed with Trash, and she said she was going on with the adoption. She 18, she can do whatever she want to. You can't stop her. And the mama was hell-bent on stopping her until Trash told her story of she gave her daughter up at the same age she was, and basically her mama raised her daughter, pretending like that was her sister, all this time lost, and then ended up reconnecting with her daughter, and Ben got a hold to her. So yeah, that story kind of touched Mrs. Choi, and yeah, I think Mrs. Choi having second doubts on that. At this point, Mrs. Choi, you carry this much, just adopt the baby like Trash Mama did at this point. If you want to keep the baby as a Choi, oh well, it ain't gonna be no Choi. It's gonna end up being a Brady. If you want to end up keeping the baby, just raise the baby with you and your husband. Just do that. At this point, arguing with her, fighting with her, bickering over adoption and all, you can do the same. You can go down the same route Trash went with her daughter. I let you adopt her, you raise her while she gone off to college, and let her do her big one and come back home, and maybe she'll entertain the baby or say goo goo gaga to the baby every once in a while she come home for college or whatever. If you carry this much, just adopt the baby at this point. Like fighting her and wanting to find the perfect parent when it's obvious you want to keep the baby and you want to keep the baby in the family. So if you want to do that, baby, just get the baby. Adopt the baby. It's not gonna be hard. I'm pretty sure Sophia and Tater be down with it. They just don't want to raise the baby. They want to go off to college. So if you down with just raising the baby, raise the baby. And then Sophia come home and say that to Goo Goo Gaga to the baby, and every once in a while play with the baby or whatever when she come home for college or when she done. Like, I don't understand it really. Like, you want to fight with her and make her choose and find the perfect person for, in your opinion, the perfect person that you think that's going to fit your standards when it's not even much your child. If you care that much, just adopt the baby at this point. It's just like, why even fight that girl? Like Trash told you, she 18, you ain't going to stop her. And if she want to do it, she going to do it regardless of what you say anyway. So, she already defined you, so why don't you just go ahead and make a deal with your daughter and say, look, since you want to do this and you hell bent on adopting the baby, let me and your dad raise the baby. Let us raise it at this point. I just don't understand why fight her when you can make things 10 times more better for her and stress free for her by just adopting the baby. Ask her, offer it. I'm pretty sure she'll be down with it. Hell, she'll see the baby and all that, and have fun, play with the baby or whatever. She just don't want to raise the baby. But I don't understand you fighting with her, arguing with her over when you can just do that and be happy and married. But I guess you like fighting with your daughter, even though, like Trash told you, your daughter grown, she can do what the hell she want to. So yeah. Eric come back into town and runs into EJ. Now every time Eric come back to town, why do the first person he always run into is EJ? I have never understand that until now. Like every time Eric comes into town, his first encounter or second encounter is always EJ. Always. We have not seen a moment since EJ came to town had he not ran into EJ. Right now it's getting kind of sickening at this point that every time you turn around he run into EJ. And yeah. Basically, we gonna talk about this bid a little bit more. Basically, the whole bidding thing was a mess, really. And then on top of it all, basically, Xander want to see his daughter basically fighting over the daughter when he should be worried about Philip and if he did it or not. Even though they caught you red-handed, because you can't deny the CCTV video catching you there moments before the boy got beat up. So basically, you caught Xander, whether you deny it or not. You caught. Everybody know you did it. You was pissed off at that boy, even though he was trying to be a little, what should I say, a rookie hero, or attempting to be a hero, and ended up blowing up in his face, and ended up putting Bo in the worst condition ever. Even though he did get the drug, and then we ain't got no update whether it's working or not. But we know John getting well. We don't know nothing about Bo quite yet. So your attempt to try to be Superman for whatever reason you want to do it, because you want to put your big nose involved in it, I can't say the beatdown was justified, because nobody should be beat down like that to the point, to the point where they end up in a coma like that. But Xander, you had that coming. Xander, Philip, you had that coming. You was doing way too much, even with the fraudulent letter. Then Vivian, then you gonna top of that, you done did this. Then kind of find out you done lied to this man for months and had people covering it up. I think that'll push an angry person off the edge. Like I said, you might have deserved one or two punches here and there, but the beat down like that and kicking it, ooh, I can only imagine what that poor thing. Well, he ain't no poor thing. I can only imagine what he was going through and how he felt. But you ain't have to kick the man in the coma like that. Like I said, I ain't saying you was wrong or right. We see you was attempting to be a hero, the wrong type of hero that made things worse. And somehow Bill trying to make you a hero. Like I said, it's a whole lot of going on. And like I said, he don't deserve it, where he deserved to be not. I ain't gonna say knocked out neither. Let's just say he deserved a bloody nose, or a bleeding lip. That's about all. But to beat him down like that, he did not deserve that at all. And Xander, you always take stuff too far. Sarah, I'm not excusing you. You chose that hot tamale as your husband, so I am not excusing you neither. But anyways, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all later. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Have a good weekend, and I'll catch y'all later. I'm trying to see with that everything. I think that was kind of everything. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.